None of these things that I'm going to talk about in this video today are to do with diet and exercise, but you're gonna need these in bucket loads. These key areas will contribute to 90% of your success rate. Hello fam, and welcome to my channel. My name's Melissa Neal, and this channel is all about helping you, if you're a woman over 40 or like me, over 50, get in amazing shape. But you're gonna need these 5 key things in order to do that. I have learned these secrets by working with hundreds of women as my coaching clients, and over 10,000 women have been through my program. I've discovered that there's one key problem that everything I'm going to talk about, those 5 secrets I'm going to talk about, will cover this one problem, but I'm going to tell you the story of this problem first. And this is quite typical. So I was having a conversation with one of my coaching clients, and she just kind of said, you know, I find sticking to the workouts, the meal plans, sometimes the lifestyle changes that I recommend in terms of sleep and reducing your stress levels. She said, Melissa, I find this so difficult to stick to. And she said, you know, on Monday morning, I've got every intention of doing well, and then by Wednesday, I'm having a slump in the afternoon. I'm having my regular Starbucks coffee. Nothing wrong with that, as long as it's not one of their high-calorie lattes. And then she says, you know, I can't help but order a muffin or some cookies. And then I feel like I failed. So I just sort of think, oh, I'm going to have to forget about it and start again, all over again, maybe in a few days' time or next week. Does that sound like you? Or maybe some other story that you've got where you just find it really difficult to stick to? You kind of know, because you've watched a lot of my stuff, what you actually should be doing, but you can't implement it. Well, this video is for you. So what I'm talking about is actually motivation. But there's a big problem with saying that you're not motivated, because no one's motivated 100% of the time. I'm not motivated 100% of the time. What you actually need to do is work on your mindset so that you have discipline. That's really what's needed, and that's what I discovered. What I discovered was a massive problem, and then what I discovered is kind of how I overcame that, really, because back in the day I probably did lack discipline, but about 7 years ago I started to incorporate these things that I'm going to tell you about, and it made a huge difference. So I'm going to share them with you, but watch right until the end, because I'm going to talk about an amazing opportunity to actually kind of get some of that discipline, because I'm offering a $20,000 prize reward for my 8-week transformation challenge. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about that at the end, because a lot of women find that when they've lacked discipline in the past, they've actually found it, because what they've found is it's a massive motivation, you know, with the prize fund at the end of it. But I'm not going to be talking about money as a motivation. We're going to talk about other strategies. So I'm going to get into it now. The first thing that I discovered when I was going on my transformation journey, and I teach tons of women about this, and that is finding your strong reason why. What is your strong reason why for doing this? Now, for me, initially, it was getting up on stage in a sparkly bikini, because that was what I wanted to do. I haven't actually competed in 3 years now. So that strong reason why, that sort of ship has flown, because I've kind of achieved that. So now I've swapped my strong reason why for longevity. Staying in the best of health, you know, being able to run around after my children, who are now kind of young adults really now, but enjoying my life with them, having the freedom to do the things I want, and also being able to do things like wear the clothes that I want, wear swimwear, actually kind of look good naked. that kind of stuff, because it's going to give me much more confidence. Looking and feeling my best are really my strong reasons why. Staying in the best of health, so that might be another strong reason why for you. Maybe you've got some sort of medical condition and you want to overcome that. You know, maybe you've got high blood pressure, hypertension, type 2 diabetes. They are all so common when it comes to this stage in life. Or maybe you want to prevent that from happening to you. But find your really strong reason why. Write it down. Because when you write things down, it becomes much more likely that they're going to happen. So, you know, if you haven't done already, put the pause button on and grab a paper and pen, write it down. What is your strong reason why? And always come back to that, keep reviewing it, because I have to keep reviewing it for me. I've been doing this for 7 years. If I don't have a really strong reason why I'm doing it, then I've got a problem. So the other reason is I'm a role model for women in my community, and I have an online community, but you may have your own community that you want to be a role model for. Number 2, you've got to take control and take action. That's one thing. I got the control back in my life. Things were a little bit out of control. I went through marriage breakdown and divorce. And I took back control of my life because I wanted to do more things for myself. We're going to talk about this in a minute. But the first thing is you need to take action. Maybe, you know, like me, it was like walking into a gym and signing up for a membership, seeing a personal trainer, enrolling into one of my programs, inquiring about joining my coaching program, whatever it is, joining the 8-week challenge that we're going to talk about at the end. You've got to start taking control of your life and taking action. You know, all too many times I hear the excuses like, oh, I haven't got time. You know, it's really difficult to sort of fit this in, that kind of thing. And, you know, I had that at times when I was really, really busy. So at one point I was commuting 3 hours a day, 1.5 hours each way. And I still managed to find time for exercise and meal prep. So it really is about discipline and mindset. The second thing is to take control and take action. Thirdly, and this is what I do on my kind of live masterclasses and workshops that I run from time to time. So if you ever get invited to one, come along. But one of the things I talk about a lot is actually getting out of your comfort zone. And it's really important when you're transforming your body that you get out of your comfort zone. You're going to find there's some things that you just don't want to do, whether that's weighing, measuring your food, maybe it's a new type of exercise that you haven't done before. Whatever it is, I had to get out of my comfort zone to get in shape. And I'll just tell you a story that I love telling to people in another instance so you can see how it works, because you can actually apply this to every aspect of your life. So whether it's finding love, whether it's succeeding in business or in the workplace, or it's succeeding in getting the body shape that you've always dreamed of, you're going to need to get out of your comfort zone. Some of these like massive business gurus, they talk about it a lot. Back quite a number of years ago, I think it was like 6 years ago, you know, I had to get out of my comfort zone because I was kind of newly single. I was looking for love and I was looking to kind of widen my horizons because I'd like read a lot about dating, and rather than kind of going all out for dating, it was like broaden your horizons and actually get out and about doing things, because if you do that, you're going to meet people. So I thought, okay, right. And one of my big passions is music, and I wanted to go to this music festival out in Croatia, and it's called Sunsevi. It doesn't take place in Croatia anymore. Now it's in Portugal, but at the time it was in Croatia. But I didn't know anyone that goes, and I tried to sort of ask them around with some of my friends to see if they wanted to go. Nobody wanted to go, so I thought, well, I'm just going to need to get out of my comfort zone. So I went on some sort of Facebook groups and started trying to sort of talk to people online about finding myself a roommate and, you know, getting to this place on my own and being a single traveller. And like, luckily, they kind of really welcomed single travellers, and I managed to find myself a roommate that I met when I arrived. So that was really brilliant. And, you know, I was so frightened before I went, like frightened, scared, kind of excited, all rolled into one. But anyway, I took the plunge and I went, and I've never looked back. Even though it's moved venues, I've gone nearly every single year since. And the second year that I went, I actually met my lifelong partner, Ken. And so I wouldn't have met him if I didn't step out of my comfort zone. So when it comes to fitness and body transformation and like building muscle, losing fat, whatever your goal is, it's exactly the same. You're going to have to do some things that feel uncomfortable. I remember there's a guy I really respect in the gym, and he said to me, Melissa, you've got to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I never forget that phrase. So step out of your comfort zone. The number 4 thing you're going to need is belief, and that's self-belief, and that's belief in the process. So I know you can find when you're going down the route of a new transformation journey, maybe it's a new method, maybe you're following one of my methods, you will find you're going to get what's called naysayers. There's people that are going to disagree with your approach, but you've got to like trust the process, believe in the process, and follow the process. And so if you let people sway you from that, and they're like saying, oh, you should be doing juicing, you should be doing keto, you should be doing this, it's going to distract you, and you've kind of got to block everything off. And that's exactly what I did when I found the formula for success. I blocked all these comments that I was getting initially. Of course, when people started to see that I like looked really amazing, they stopped the comments. But initially, everyone wants to get their 2 penneth in, and everyone thinks that they know about fitness, everyone thinks they know about weight loss, and so you've got to believe in the process. That's really important. You've also got to believe in yourself. I started to have an enormous amount of self-belief. I found it because what I'd done in the past is I kind of looked at other women, looked at their success and thought, oh, I can never have a body like that. That's because they've got whatever it is, some magical ingredient, which they haven't actually got. What they've got is mindset and in bucket loads. Yes, some people have good genetics. Some people do take performance enhancing drugs, but a lot of women that I meet that look like this, they do none of those, or they've had none of those, they've had none of the genetics, they've just had mindset and self-belief in bucket loads. And when you start to believe in yourself and you start to kind of have that inner narrative that's telling you, I can achieve this just like anybody else, that's what I started to say to myself. I started to say, wow, look at those women have just done really well. But I've got every chance of doing this as long as I implement what's in my program, what's in my plan. If I follow the process and I trust the process and I believe in myself, I can achieve anything. Anything is possible given the right mindset. So self-belief, it's not something I can kind of instantly give to you, but you can work on it, and you can work on that by developing an inner narrative that is really positive and talks about success, and you don't put yourself down. My number 5 thing that is a massive game changer when it comes to mindset, and that is prioritizing yourself. Never be afraid to put yourself first, because everyone around you is going to benefit from actually you being in the best of health, the best of shape. So that's something women, we tend to do. We tend to feel guilty about it if we're prioritizing yourself. And there's nothing wrong with prioritizing your sleep, prioritizing how you eat, prioritizing your fitness, your workouts, your walking, whatever it is you do. Prioritizing relaxation, prioritizing taking time out for yourself. If you start putting yourself first, I promise you that everybody around you is going to benefit from that. And, you know, if they're not happy for you, you've got to question why they're in your life, really. That's all I would say. I promised you at the start I was going to talk about my opportunity to win $20,000 by taking part in my 8-week transformation challenge. And this challenge is probably actually going to help with your mindset, because you're going to get incredible results like these women in the picture, which will help you kind of trust the process and help you really believe that you can achieve this. So it's really only 8 weeks, and it's a massive kickstart to your transformation journey. It's only open to women over 40. It is the best program I have when you measure it on the kind of success that people are achieving. So click the link in the description to find out more and to sign up, and let me know in the comments if this video has been helpful.